guys, it's Ashley, and today we're going to be going over a super cute and easy project. We're going to be using the Joy for this one today, and I wanted to share with you guys a really easy DIY. This is a great gift idea if you're looking for an easy gift idea or just something to organize your jewelry a little bit more. And what we're going to do is create like a little cute matching set here, just because they have this kind of gold vibe to them. So if you haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscription button and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future content. And this is a really quick and easy one, so if you're looking for something inexpensive and still beautiful, this is a great one for you. So let's go ahead and get started on this. The first things that you're going to need is this cute little tray from Dollar Tree. Can you believe that's Dollar Tree? It looks really nice. So pick up one of those. And then you'll also want one of these ceramic little jewelry box holders, and you can put little trinkets or anything that you want to keep handy. They're made out of ceramic and they just have a single bee on them, and I thought that would be perfect for this DIY specifically. So I thought because of this kind of gold feeling, I thought those would look really cute together. You'll also want some smart vinyl in permanent, and this is the gold. And then some transfer tape. You can use whichever size transfer tape you have. I have a big roll handy, so I'm using that. You'll want a ruler. This one is from Dollar Tree. And a pair of scissors and a little mini scraper tool. If you're using the project exactly as I'm making it, I will leave the link down below in the description box, and you can go straight to the project and you won't even have to use the ruler because it will be sized already for this. But if you're creating a different design using this, maybe you want to personalize it with a name or add something else different to it, definitely use the Dollar Tree ruler so you can make sure to size it correctly. So hey guys, we're inside Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to walk you through how you can create these cute little decals to apply to your Dollar Tree jewelry box. And if you want to just go straight to the project itself, all you have to do is click on the link in the description box below. It'll take you straight to the project and you don't have to worry about sizing. But if you want to learn the steps and some tips and tricks that I use to make this a really fast project, go ahead and keep watching this part and I'll walk you through it. So right now we're inside the design screen for Cricut Design Space. I'm using a desktop computer. If you're following along using a tablet or a phone, it will look slightly differently on the screen, but the options will still be the same. So all of these toolbars that you see on the left hand side of the screen and the right hand side of the screen, you'll find along the bottom of the screen. And so you'll just have to scroll left and right along the bottom of the screen and it'll walk you through all of this as well. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to select images. And because this is a bee themed little trinket box, I wanted to put some little imagery that was related to bees. So all I'm going to do is select the word bee, and it will bring us to our image screen inside Cricut Design Space. So there's some options that are free. There are options that are part of the Access library. It just depends on if you have an Access subscription or you don't. If you don't have one, I definitely recommend it. There's 100,000 different images that you can play with. It's really great. And you get a 10% discount on anything that you're buying aside from some digital images. So let's go ahead and roll through these and see what's here. So there's some really cute ones. I want to choose, I believe it was the double bees here. I think this one is super cute, and I have it saved for offline because I've been using it. So we're selecting that one, and then we're also going to select a little hive. So I'm just scrolling until I see the little hive here. I think that one's adorable, and you can tell if they are selected because on the bottom of your screen it'll have two little mini images here that you've selected them, and you'll just click Insert Images. So it brings those to our screen here. You can separate them. We're going to go back into, actually we don't need to. So we have everything here that we need to work with. So now we're going to worry about the sizing of the item. So whenever you're making a decal, you want to make sure that it's going to fit and have plenty of visual space for the item that you're working on. I've pre-measured the project that we're working on. The little trinket box is 1.75 inches in height by approximately 2 inches in width. So we want to make sure any decal we put in here is going to be the right sizing for this. So this beehive already is larger than the section that we're working with. So you can If you're using your phone or your tablet, you can just click on it with your finger, and when you see the little box appear, you can drag and click it to make it whichever size. If you're using a desktop, you can just click on the corner and drag and click, and you can adjust the sizing. If you're finding it hard to adjust the sizing on your phone or your tablet, you can go down to the panel where it says edit, and you can adjust the sizing. On the top of the screen here, you can adjust the sizing as well, and that way you make sure you have it exactly what you want. But the easiest way visually is often to just drag and click it, and then just keep an eye on the sizing for it. So for this one, we're probably going to make it about 1.5 inches in height. So that one is ready. I want to make 2 of these, so I will go ahead and duplicate it. There's 2 ways to duplicate it. If you're on a desktop computer, you can right click and hit duplicate. Or if you're on a phone or a tablet, you can just select it to highlight it, and there's a tool where you can actually go ahead and click duplicate, and that should be under the actions panel. So just click duplicate, and then you'll have 2 of them. So I want to use the heart and I want to use the bees for this, but the sizing is all wrong for this one. So there's 2 different ways that you can get the bees exactly how you want. I'm going to go ahead and ungroup this first. This will be under the edit panel if you're using your phone or your tablet. So it makes a separate heart. So first we're going to work on making the heart the right size that we want. So I don't want to make this too large. So keeping in mind, I'll make it probably about the same size as this one here. So we have this the right size. Now I'm going to select it and highlight it, and I'm going to click duplicate. So that's duplicated. And there are 2 ways to do this. If you want to have both bees, but you want them to be different sizing, you can go into the contour tool. This will be under the edit panel along the bottom of the screen. So you can hit contour, and then you can go ahead and select which pieces you want to show up, and you can remove one bee that way. So that's an option, but it takes a lot longer to do. I'm going to show you a quick way using the slice tool. All you have to do is go into shapes here, and you can select a square. So I have a square, and I'm just going to place this square over the other bee, and it covers the bee completely, which is exactly what we want. So now that it's covering one of the bees, we're going to drag and click a box around it, and it selects all of this, and we're going to go down to the edit panel and hit slice, or the actions panel and hit slice. And what it does is it creates a cutout. So we can remove this cutout, and we'll just click in the X in the corner to delete it. We'll drag down the other piece that it created, and we're going to click the X to delete it, and it separates these pieces. So now these pieces are ready to go. All we have to do is size them to the size that we want. So I'm going to size this down a bit because it's 1.75 inches in height for what we're using. So I want this slightly undersized to that. So there's one. And we're going to try to keep them about the same size here. So there's the other. So that one is 1.63. Okay, so those are ready to go. And if we want this all to cut out of the same color, what we can do is select the item. And if you're using a phone or a tablet, you'll find this on the bottom of the screen. It will have the cut under, I believe, edit. It'll have the cut option, and next to it, it has a little, it should be a little circle, and it'll show you the material colors, and you can select the material colors. So we're selecting gold for each of these, and that way all of this can cut out of the same material. It's a super quick project that way, and I think the gold looks really pretty. It highlights the lid color on it. So these are all ready to go. Now we can click Make It. You'll find that on the bottom right hand corner of the screen if you're using a tablet or a phone. We're going to select Make It. We're using the Cricut Joy. So it's going to ask us, how are you loading the materials? We're going to use without a mat because I'm using the Cricut Smart Vinyl. If you're using regular vinyl, you can use on a mat. The card mat is for if you're making cards, so you shouldn't have to worry about that one. So it just depends which material you're using. Smart vinyl is without a mat, regular vinyl on a mat. So we're using without a mat. We're going to select Continue, and it'll have us connect our machine. And then we're going to select which material we're using. Mine are set as favorites. You can select browse all materials and it'll give you a list of all the materials that work with the Cricut Joy, and that way you can choose. I'm going to use Smart Vinyl Permanent because I want this to be able to be wiped off and stuff as needed. So now all we're going to do is load the material in the machine and get crafting. So we're going to get started with this. The project will be loaded into Design Space. I will show you guys that separately. All we have to do right now is load in the material into the Cricut Joy. So I'm going to move all of our supplies out of the way here. And here's our Cricut Joy. All we have to do is just open the door, make sure you have the correct tool in. We have our Smart Vinyl straight from the box as a brand new roll. I picked up some gold because I feel like this is perfect for the holidays. Plus it's a classic. So we don't even have to cut this. You can use it straight from the roll. So I'm ready to load this one in. I've already selected in the machine that I'm using Smart Vinyl in Permanent, and we're going to load this straight into the machine. It's making sure that it's cut to the right size, so it measured to make sure we have enough material. And now it's going to go ahead and do some cutting for us. So I'm going to click the Go button. And the Go button is inside the software. The Joy is all controlled remotely by the Bluetooth software. So while this is cutting, have you guys tried out any fun holiday projects yet? Or are you deciding on gift ideas currently for everybody in your life? I think this is a great idea for gifts, but also for yourself, because I know that I'm always leaving little items by my side table and not having them organized. This is a great way to organize them. So how's your guys' day going? Leave a comment below and let me know. I hope you're having a really great day. Today I'm filming this and it is Saturday. It's early in the morning. I got up and felt like this would be the best time to get some crafting done, you know, while everybody's still kind of resting. And it just gives me some uninterrupted crafting time. And now if we want the machine to unload it, it'll unload it, and we have to select the unload button on the software. Okay, so it's unloaded. We'll close this up and set the Joy aside. I really love how easy that is to use. Okay, so all we have to do is cut away the pieces that we did use, and we can leave the rest of the vinyl and put it back inside our little container here, so that way we can use it later. It stays nicely organized. If you guys want to see my organization of how I keep all my Cricut supplies in really great shape, just leave a comment below and let me know, and I can film that as a separate video. But the big secret of it is these IKEA 79-cent boxes that I use. They're really amazing for keeping everything in place. Okay, so that's ready to go now. We can put that aside. And the next step is we're going to weed out the extra material. So weeding is just referring to removing anything that you don't need to use, anything extra. So I'm just going to cut away the extra. You can save the scraps for other projects. It's completely cool to use. So I'm just going to cut these into individual sections here, and then we will weed them. So we'll cut the bees as their own separate, the hearts as their own separate, because I'm going to be placing them differently on this, just depending on what I feel. That's the nice thing about something like this, is you can just be totally creative. You know, you can have the machine do the work for you as far as the design and the patterns, and then you can go ahead and be creative in the application, in the colors that you use, in the style. There's so many ways that you can be creative without having to worry about getting the perfect result every time, because this will give you that really nice, finished, professional result. Okay. So I definitely want to start with one of the beehives. So I'm going to take the rest of the vinyl away from this. All I'm doing is I'm just working on the corner, and I'm just pulling this away. And it's going to leave the little imprint there. This is where it's handy. If you have a Dollar Tree lint roller, keep it nearby, and you can use that to capture all of the little scraps that you don't want to get everywhere, and it works out really well. So that is an option that you can use. So I know that it is just now heading into November, and we're all crazy busy with everything right now. Have you started holiday decorating yet? Are you working on your holiday decorations or deciding what you want to decorate with? I'm really torn this year between what type of decor I want to do, if I want to make it really complicated or keep it very simple. I know we've all had a stressful year, so you know, I am leaning towards keeping it simple, but you know, still really nice. Are you a before Thanksgiving decorator, or are you an after Thanksgiving decorator? Leave a comment below and let me know. I feel like that's the biggest debate when it comes to holiday decor is, do you wait or do you decorate early? I'm a decorate early, but that's also because I'm a craft early kind of gal. Dollar Tree always has all the decor and supplies for crafting out early, so I always take advantage of that so I can, you know, create tutorials and do different things. So I'm already, you know, decorating when it's way early compared to most people, but I love it. It's still fun. And that's the whole point, right? To add a little bit of fun to your life and bring some joy into it. Okay, here we go. I've got those going. So let me go ahead and start applying these. This is where you're going to bring in your transfer tape, and the Joy also has smaller rolls of transfer tape that you can use too. This is one of my larger rolls that I already had going. So all you need to do to use the transfer tape is to cut a section that's the right size for what you're working with here. So I know because everything is sized to fit, I sized this on my ruler already. I know it's sized to fit. I believe it's 2 inches by inch and a quarter in height here. So everything is sized to fit within these windows. So the piece of transfer tape I'm going to be using is not going to be huge. Just going to keep it pretty small. And the nice thing about the Cricut transfer tape is you can reuse it over and over. You can get many, many uses out of it. I would say a good solid 4 to 5 uses out of each piece. So all we're going to do is take this, and let me push you guys in a little closer so you can see what I'm working on. So you're going to take your project, and then you're going to take your transfer tape. It has a gridded line on there to make it easier for you. And you're just going to lay this over the top here. Because it is such a small piece, you usually don't have to worry too much about bubbles. If it's a larger piece, you'll want to lay it down in one section and work your way back. And then all I'm doing is taking my scraper, and I'm going to start pushing on it lightly. And we're just trying to make sure this adheres and it removes any bubbles. So when you're sure that it is adhered, you're going to flip this over and press on the back as well. When you're using the Cricut Joy Smart Vinyl, it has a thicker backing on it compared to regular vinyl. So I always recommend to flip it over and to work from the back, adhering it as well, just to give you a little bit extra to work with here. Okay, so now we have it adhered. What we're going to do is keep it flipped this direction, and we're going to slowly peel back, and we're going to roll it. And so you can see now it's separate from the backing, but you have it attached to this strip. So this is ready to go on to our project. Let's go ahead and bring this one over. The nice thing about this is you don't have to worry about how it's situated on here because this lid is removable, so there's no right or wrong way to place this. So we have our little container here. We're just going to select a section, and this would be great to use a prep pad for. You can use an alcohol prep pad, and just to make sure that it is clean and clear from oils. I just unwrapped this, so I know this is pretty clean right now. And what you can do is you'll just place your decal on it. You're going to make sure that this is centered in here. If you want, this is a great time to break out your ruler and make sure that you have a center point and that it's nice and centered on there. Or you can also eyeball it if you'd like. That's totally up to you. So all we're going to do is just slightly hover. You can make this into a V shape to make this easier to apply. Because it is such a small decal, I feel pretty confident about applying it without having to put too much measurements in it. And then you can use your finger to just go ahead and smooth that on there a little bit. This is where we'll break out our little scraper. And we're just going to press and adhere this. So that should be applied, and all we're going to do is take a corner and just check it by peeling back a little bit, and it is applied. It doesn't look like there's any air bubbles, so we're just going to remove that. So there's the first section ready to go, and let's go ahead and work on one of the B's. We're still going to reuse this tape, so we're just going to adhere it to a corner here and let that one sit out of the way. Let's add one of the cute little B's. So we're just going to weed it by removing the corner here. And you don't have to use the tools for every single thing. That's something that I do appreciate, is although you can use tools for a lot of these projects, you don't have to. They can be very minimal for tools and for time. This one's a pretty quick little project. It takes me longer to explain it than it actually takes me to do the project. Which I love. I love projects like this. Especially during the holidays, we're so crunched for time. This is such a great way to craft without spending a lot of time. You know, if you have a few minutes here and there in between, you know, things going on in your life, you know, work or your family, or, you know, if you're making something, you can just spend a few minutes on it and then get back to everything else that you have to do. So there we go, that one's ready. Now we're going to just take our little piece of tape, same thing we did before, we're just going to center it on here, and then we are going to press this down. The mat here, and we're going to flip it over and then just run the scraper over it again just to make sure it's adhered really well. Then we'll peel this back and see if it's adhered. If it's not adhered, what we can do is work on pressing it again, but it's good to go. So there is our little mini bee, and we've already worked on this side, so we're going to flip this over and we're going to do another one. Oops. So I usually just hold both ends, create kind of a slight V shape, and then that way I can just touch down a section at a time. There we go, there's our little bee. And let's go ahead and use a heart for the next one. I cut one of the hearts and I thought that this would be really cute. It's a very simple little design, but I love the idea of it. Okay, so we're going to take our transfer tape again. Same thing, we're just going to apply it to the top and then use our tool to make sure it's adhered correctly. And remove that. Now we will work on the next section. So I started with the bee, hive, the bee, and now we'll put a little heart. The neat thing about this is you can do it however you like. It just depends on what hits your fancy. That's something I really love about using Cricut machines, is you can really go crazy and have a lot of fun with different styles. I thought I would keep this one simple and just, you know, make it perfectly sized for this and just make it a fun little project. But there's so many ways that you can get complex with these. Okay, just peeling that back. And I'm going to put my transfer tape back on the side here. And let's go back to another beehive. We'll place this transfer tape over the top. Now we will work on the bee again. Put our transfer tape out of the way. And we're just going to remove the extra vinyl from this. Now we're on our last step here. We're just going to apply this heart as the last one. All you need to have a really great gift is pick up this cute little tray, leaf tray from Dollar Tree, and then this from Dollar Tree, and then you have it personalized, and it's really cute and custom. Package those two together, and you have a really great gift. This is something that's useful. Everybody can use every day to put their items on, you know, your watch, any jewelry you have, even your car keys, whatever you want to keep handy. You can put it on a side table and it'll look really great together since they kind of coordinate. And I just love how easy that is. So if you want to make this project yourself, check out the link in the description box below. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment and let me know. And let me know what else you'd like to see. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.